Hey, Singh, thank you so much for joining me on VA Insiders this week. I'm super excited to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to share my knowledge and my expertise with you guys. I am a digital and social media strategist, and with that comes, thorough knowledge in social media marketing, digital media, web development. When people think digital and social media, they think just the basics of social media, right? But it's so much more than that. It's building out your brand identity. It's being able to showcase a business in its best form on their website and all of that. One of the things I definitely want to walk you guys through today specifically is optimizing your LinkedIn. Most of you might already know how important it is. There's so much more than just adding in your experiences, right? It's about networking.
Yes.
It's about putting out your knowledge out there so people can find you. It's optimizing your bio to make it keyword rich. Okay, so let's dive in. I just wanted to showcase a couple of stats just to showcase the magnitude of LinkedIn as a platform within itself. So 900 million users globally as of 2023. Every second, 95 job applications are submitted through the LinkedIn platform. And every minute, 3 people are hired through the LinkedIn platform. Recently, one of my clients, I helped them with recruitment marketing, and the amount of emphasis they put on utilizing LinkedIn through like Boolean searches to find applicants is crazy. So this is why I really want to emphasize why it's so important to make sure that your profile is optimized for keyword searching, because recruiters are utilizing different third-party tools to do Boolean searches to search for ideal candidates.
Amazing.
The first part of the profile is, I call this the above the fold content. I want to dive a little bit deeper about why it's the above the fold content. So when people search for you and they click on your profile, this is the first thing they see. So the first is the header image. And this is an opportunity I tell people to make it professional, but you can add a little bit of a personal touch, right? So maybe in future, we'll talk about brand identity, but my brand is very on point with palm trees, the beach, very blues and teals. And so this header image is actually one I photographed, and it speaks to me. Choose a header photo that resonates with you, but is professional. The second portion is your profile photo. I highly recommend a business headshot photo. Not a selfie where people can see half of your arm. We've all seen those.
Wait, yes. And I say the same thing. I'm like, no sunglasses, no hats. I want to see your face. I feel really engaged looking at your photo as well. And I think that's because of the eye contact that I feel like I'm getting.
Honestly, it doesn't have to be. I tell people, like, they get overwhelmed sometimes because they're like, oh, I have to book a professional photographer. And I was like, no, you can get dressed up and go against a wall that's kind of a clear color. A lot of us have iPhones now, right? Do it in profile photo mode, anything like that, and just have somebody take it so at least it's really professional looking and there's not a lot of distractions in the background.
100%.
It's so simple. And then the third part is name and title. So I want to emphasize that, that obviously first name, last name. If you have your master's degree, add an MBA on there. If you have a JD, you spend a lot of time in school, so might as well add it on there if you have that under your belt. And then lastly, the bio description. So this is the part where I would suggest kind of adding in those keywords, right? Or where your niche is. So let's say if you're a virtual assistant, obviously add virtual assistant. It can be, if you're in tech specific, it could be for small business tech startup, or if it's for hospitality, you can say like focused in hospitality. So people know a little bit more about, okay, well, there's a lot of virtual assistants out there, but if you specialize in something too, that's what's going to bring you out on top of your competitors. And during the Boolean search, they'll also be picking up on that keyword too.
Absolutely. And that's something that we talk about a lot and we'll continue to talk about a lot in VA Insiders as well, is how to attract your ideal client, how to repel people who are ill fits for your business. And one of my favorite ways to do that is through the bio description. So through this header. So that's great.
Yes, exactly. So diving into kind of your about section, I oftentimes hear that this is one of the more challenging sections just because it's hard to condense however many years into 3 sentences, right?
Yes.
And I struggle with that too. But as you can see, there's a lot of keyword rich moments here where I talk about brand development, measuring and analyzing ROI, content calendar management. When I actually pulled these keywords, it was from ideal JDs. So I would look at like what an ideal role would be, and it would say like, oh, you know, needs to be skilled in brand development, in content calendar management. So I would pull these qualifications and add them into my about section, because that's also where they're looking for the ideal candidate, and you want to present yourself as the ideal candidate. Right?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm not embarrassed to admit, and I hope everyone watching this too. I just want to reiterate that if you need to change things about your LinkedIn that you've already created, do it, because this is a great tip. And in fact, I am going to go after this call. I'm going to go and do this and update my LinkedIn profile. So no shame in the game. This is an amazing tip.
Additionally, like the industry. So for example, I have worked with a myriad of different industries, from entertainment, nonprofit, hospitality. So my list is a lot longer, but once again, like you previously said, if you want to wean off of particular clients that you don't want, or you want to also bring in clientele of a particular industry, this is a good opportunity to add that in, right? So
yes, I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah. And then your key skills, right? There's a lot of different platforms out there that you guys might know, content management systems, planning tools. Add that in there, because not everybody knows Photoshop, right? So I add that as a skill. Not everybody knows Basecamp, WordPress. So the fact that you know that just makes you even more of an expert in your field. And then lastly, professional websites, right? So it's just driving traffic to your portfolio. I add in my Facebook and Twitter just because those are professional. Like personally, I wouldn't put my personal Facebook on there or personal Instagram, because LinkedIn is a professional site. Here are some quick tips. So oftentimes people come to me and they're like, oh, when should I post? How often should I post? How many hashtags should I use? Plain and simple, think of LinkedIn as kind of a 9-to-5 work platform, right? So as you can see in this grid over here, the highest engagement is oftentimes during the business hours, anywhere from like 8, 9 to kind of 2-ish. And then it tapers off right after like people clock out. And that makes sense to me, because if it's used as a recruiting tool, recruiters are going to go on there during their work hours to actively search for potential contractors, potential leads, et cetera, and same vice versa. If people are contractors and looking for work, they're going to be going and looking during their work hours. So just something to think about. And they suggest Tuesday and Wednesday, which I think makes sense, because on Monday, you come into the office and you're like bombarded with emails, right? You're not going to be like,
unfortunately.
Right. You're like, oh, I'm already overwhelmed. It's Monday. And then Friday, you're like, bye, out of office, right?
I'll be honest. If Thursday afternoon, I'm like, goodbye. Yes,
exactly. So best days, Tuesday and Wednesdays. And of course, the worst day is Sunday. Just something to think about as you're posting and starting to publish out more content on your LinkedIn. And then lastly, hashtags, right? So HubSpot actually suggests about 3 hashtags per post, which you don't want to go too much. It's not Instagram. I think sprinkling it in makes sense. So for example, if there's particular hashtags that are relevant and trending, so Monday motivation or Tip Tuesday or small business week and or administrative day, like those
Sure.
are hashtags that make sense. So be intentional.
And would be an interesting way for virtual assistants to break into either a new industry if they, like you said, if they want to work with people in tech, find some trending topics and
Yes.
start to share within that. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly. And then the last portion, I want to talk about content development. So some of you who are listening in might be like, well, I'm a little hesitant to post. I don't post that often. I'm just looking to update my profile. Well, others are, your profile is like ready to go and you're like, I want to hit the ground running and I just want to publish a bunch of content. And then both are great, right? So this is why I provide these 3 elements to consider when developing content, because when you're developing content, some people are like, I'm just beginning, and some are experts. So this really falls in any of those buckets. So the first is educate. Oftentimes when I'm building out my content calendar, I think about what is something that I know or that I'm knowledgeable about that I could share with my followers and audience. What can I teach them? What can I share with them that they don't already know? Because that just showcases that I'm a thought leader in my industry. I know what I'm talking about. I'm well versed. I'm an expert. I've done my due diligence. And this could be through, this second portion, which is kind of entertainment, right? So utilizing different types of assets that are visually compelling, or you can build out easily in Canva. So something that's like eye-catching, but it could also be visual, like not just visuals, but YouTube videos. Here's some productivity tips that really helped me as a virtual assistant. So I'm sharing that with you. So hopefully it can help you as well.
And I love that too, of adding kind of your 1 to 2 sentences about why this is a relevant link. Yeah, that's great.
And podcasts. Like I love listening to podcasts that help me as a content creator, as a small business owner. And lastly, engagement. As you've heard, right? Community management is such a crucial component to building not just a social and digital marketing strategy, but your network. I can't tell you how many times people are like, I got a referral because they're like, oh, I saw something on your LinkedIn and I heard somebody needed social help and I refer you to them. And it was just for me engaging with that person. So they would comment on my post. I would comment back, and it ended up just becoming, it just ended up becoming very organic. And they're just like, oh, I know somebody who knows their stuff. They educated me on LinkedIn. They entertained me with great graphics, and I think they would be a great fit,
I am beyond thrilled that you just brought up this. So the 3E system that you developed is so memorable and so easy to remember, but also I'm so glad you brought up engagement. So many people get on a platform and they do what I call posting and ghosting. You'll post something and you think you're sharing something interesting or educational, and then you disappear for 2 weeks and you don't actually engage with people who are either liking or commenting, or you're not interacting with other, I'll just say, virtual assistants who are also posting relevant and interesting things on LinkedIn. And that's how so many referrals happen organically. So I'm thrilled that you brought that up as an example.
This is the thing with social, right? Once again, I was like, it's kind of this 2-way conversation. So I love the posting and ghosting. So going back to the comfort level of how people want, how often they want to post. If you're not ready to post content of your own and you're like, well, I'm still figuring out my groove, or I'm not sure what to post, focus on engage first, right? You're following different people that maybe you like their content. Like, for example, as Erin mentioned, and I'll share my link later, follow me on LinkedIn and listen to some of the podcasts I share, or some of the videos or visual content. And if it resonates with you, engage, right? Comment on my posts, because I can guarantee that that's still activity. So it actually still shows up in your feed. And if I comment back, other people will be like, oh, who's this person? who
Mhm.
commented on Sing's post.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh, you're connected with Sing and etc. And that's where you build your community. And then lastly, I kind of wanted to talk about the different types of engagement. As you can see, I have something that Erin posted. And I love this because it's visually really compelling, right? Like I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, think about the 3 E's, right? It's really entertaining and it's very applicable to actually a lot of people.
And I'm almost glad that you pulled this one up in particular because it just serves as a nice reminder that the content that people do decide to share doesn't. Yes, I share a lot of tips. I try to educate constantly, but this is a nice reminder that sometimes the things that you share can be kind of in jest and for fun.
Yeah.
I have to have a plant on my desk
Yeah.
or
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say obligatory desk
yes,
succulent. Like,
yes,
not even kidding. It looks like it's hilarious because I have only one plant and it's the succulent. Content like that, right? And so if it resonates with you, like it, repost it on your feed if you're not
mm,
ready yet to like create your own visual content or post. Because once
mhm,
again, if you repost or if you comment on this, it still shows up in your activity in your feed, right? So people will still
yes,
see that you are active on
yes.
LinkedIn instead of the lights out. So many times I'll go on people's LinkedIn and it's like no activity yet.
Yes, I've noticed the same thing. Mhm.
And to me, if I were to hire somebody, I'd be like, well, if I'm hiring them for being a virtual assistant and being well versed on digital, like, isn't this something that I feel like they should have?
And relatedly, I do feel like the activity feed is another way to really showcase your personality and the way that you work. And I say it time and time again, clients like to hire people that they like. And so if you can let your personality shine through, like just like you were saying, your banner photos is rainbows and it's
Mhm.
vivacious and the colors, and that's very much on brand for you. I have a good
Yep,
sense that your brand is this happy, energetic brand. So I agree. If
exactly.
yeah, even if that means reposting other people's content, if it aligns with your personality and brand.
There's different resources and guides. So if you think this helps you and would help
Oh,
your community, share it, right? Repost it onto your feed because then people are like, she has a pulse on the industry. She
great tip.
knows what's going on. And I like that. That means she is on top of her game. She knows about the newest tools. I want to hire her over somebody that has no activity on their feed because I don't
Absolutely.
know who they are. I don't know what they know. So it's like this is a great opportunity where it's like you already are planting the seed and
Yes.
showcasing your personality because I can guarantee that company is going to look you up on LinkedIn even before they have your interview or reach out to you.
100% they are.
Yeah.
Yes, clients and companies are looking you up. And
Yeah.
what you've just said about sharing almost a curated list of like tools and helpful resources is also really resonating with me and
Mhm.
hopefully resonating with the audience too, because that's another great way to start building up your expertise. And like
Mhm.
ultimately, we want you to showcase yourself as like the expert in your niche or your field or your
Mhm.
services. So these are really exciting ways to be able to do this.
Yes. And lastly, I just wanted to say selfies are always a plus. Like I realize, and Erin, you and I talked about this, where photos of yourself actually usually has the highest amount of engagement on LinkedIn. So whenever I post a photo of myself, I'm like, oh, wow, there's a spike in my analytics or my metrics, right?
Mhm.
And so people like to see a face to a name. They
It's
like to
true.
see your sense of personality. I always say this is still LinkedIn, so make it professional.
Mhm.
Um, and this one, I looked up a virtual assistant, project
Mhm.
management, and systems pro, right? So helping businesses So once again, like
Mm.
kind of great title because adding in some of those keywords in there.
Yeah,
And this one was like, hey, Merry Christmas, everyone. And it's Disneyland, and who doesn't like Disneyland type of thing. So,
right.
and depending on people's comfort level, like I've posted some photos of my family because I want people to know, like,
Mm.
yes, I'm business,
Mhm.
but this is a little bit about me that I would like to welcome you into, right? Like,
Mm.
yes, I'm business, but I am all about that work-life balance, right? Like family matters to me. And so I think being able to share, of course, once again, it's comfort level,
Sure.
but being able to kind of let people into that window also is like, I'm going to reference Brene Brown again, but it showcases a little bit of your vulnerability. And to me, that
Mm,
also tells me like, I'm a really compassionate person. I am willing to be vulnerable to build that level of trust with my clients.
yes.
So, if I can share a little bit of my family, like I want you to feel like I'm part of your family type of thing, right?
I
So,
love that.
yeah, so I think adding that element of being a little bit personal, but then also being professional, it's just all about balance. With that being said, I just wanted to add in a couple of my URLs here. So please follow me on LinkedIn and also on Instagram because I provide a lot of great tips, not just for LinkedIn, but
Mhm.
really how to start building out your content structure, how to build out your brand identity, and build out your digital presence in general. So yeah.
Perfect. I cannot thank you enough for all
Of
of the
course.
incredible tips that you shared with us today. And I know the 3E system, I'm definitely
Mhm.
going to adopt that and start using that for my content. Members watching, I will have a section, a written section with some key takeaways, just kind of recapping. And then you can revisit this video again and again and again in perpetuity because there's so much invaluable information here. Thank
Yes,
you.
there's so
Thank
much.
yes. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.